All right, hey everyone. It's been a long time since we've seen you guys, or since you've seen us rather. We've been very, very busy.
Yes.
A lot has been going on, and we thought we would catch you guys up so that you can know what to expect moving forward and just find out where we are. And just, I'm sure a lot of people are like, where did they go? Where did the Jets go? The Jets disappeared.
Where are the Jets?
Are they living on their bus?
Right.
Did they finish the bus? Do they like the bus?
Right.
Do they hate the bus?
Right.
A lot about the bus, because that's all you guys need. But, so yeah, we thought we'd catch you guys up and tell you what we're up to now.
Yeah.
So we left off with, we were going back to the bus after a break.
Gutting it.
And we were finishing, we were starting to convert the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened after that, babe?
Yeah, so we have to, so once every 2 weeks we try to move the bus off of the grass. And I noticed that I started the bus, I just started moving the bus to the appropriate location, because there's like a big patch of grass that we have the bus park, and then we have to move the bus over so it doesn't weigh down the grass as much on the property. So all of a sudden I noticed when I was driving I couldn't stop. Like I couldn't, the brakes, like I kept pressing on the brakes. So now I have a 72 passenger, a 72 passenger bus that kept going and I could not stop it. And that was terrifying. And the only thing that I can think of was, I was like, man, well, first I thought about that movie Speed with Tom Cruise. But
Was that Tom Cruise? Speed? I thought it was Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves, yeah. But because I couldn't stop, I was like, man, I need to do something. So I took my foot off of the gas, and I just used the emergency brake. And at that point I was like, if I destroy it, I destroy it. So every time I tried to maneuver, eventually the bus came to a stop. I was able to use the emergency brake, but we were just stuck. And I said, man, like what would have happened if, we were driving? If we were driving on like the freeway or something like that, or even if we were done with the bus and just in a place and the bus just went out. We would just be stuck in no man's land or wherever we were traveling or whatnot. So when I went outside after the bus was parked and I looked at the hydraulic part of the bus, the cord was rusted off. And when I had my wife go, I had Angela go inside to press the brakes, and the brake fluid was just squirting out of the bus. And at that point I'm like, man, I don't even know how to repair this. And we tried calling many people, and that's when I discovered, like, we were on a lot of Skoolie forums and whatnot.
Facebook groups.
Yeah, and they always mention how sometimes it is difficult to find like a repair person or whatnot. And we never paid that no mind. We just kind of figured, we just got to look for the resources. And yeah, it was so hard.
I think we thought we wouldn't have to face that question until we were ready to be on the road, and then we would plot out a travel plan and then find mechanics along that route just to have as a backup. We never really thought, what if you don't get there first? Like, what if you haven't even finished it and you need somebody to make repairs?
Right, yeah. And it was just like the thought, calling people, then some of them weren't like on site. And if you look, I'll put up a clip or whatnot, but if you look at the little area where the hydraulic was coming out, it's like one little cord that seems like it could be easily replaceable. But I mean, I mean, obviously we're putting a bus together. We DIYers, but this is a brake system, like on a bus that's 100. Well, I don't know how many tons it is, but I mean, it's
just gonna make up a number.
Yeah, I was about to say hundreds of tons. Tons. It's a 727.
Tons of tons.
Yeah, but I just didn't trust myself to do that, and then put my family at risk. So it's just, I guess, just out of fear, we just didn't repair it. And then it was saying back and forth. When we were making calls, there were some places that even just to get the car, not the car, but even just to get the bus towed, it was like $4,000, $4,000 or $5,000 quotes that we were getting. Yeah. So it was just like, man, let's just put this on pause and get a house.
Well, so the other side of that is, as these things were happening, we were really struggling to make it out to the bus on a regular basis because one, Salim's job changed.
Yes.
And that meant his availability to help and participate changed. And also we moved out of our friend's house into a small apartment. And that was because she bought a house out of the city. And so we were looking at like living options. So we wanted to we wanted to find a small apartment with minimal rent so that we could just really just save up for our lifestyle that we wanted to have. Now at the time we were thinking we were going to do one of two things. We would either move onto the bus and live on the bus full time, or we were thinking we would try to buy a house.
Yeah. And
so we did that. We got a 500 square foot apartment.
Oh my God.
Yes, you heard me correct. 500 square feet for 4 people.
And 8
and a dog. And 2 rabbits. And a turtle. All of this, 500 square feet. Not in the best neighborhood, but really not the worst. And definitely not the most expensive apartment in the world. And that was intentional. Like, we wanted to pare down, what'd you say, eat dirt?
Yeah, eat dirt for a year. Gary V, eat dirt for a year to get where we need to get to where we need to go.
So we're not opposed to the grind. We're not opposed to doing things not the hard way as in like there's an easier way, but in like the hard, grueling like work so that you can get to the reward on the other side.
Hey, did you tell them it was 1 bedroom?
I didn't say that yet.
Yeah.
It was 1 bedroom.
1 bedroom.
1 bathroom, and like a kitchenette almost. I mean, it was like a kitchen, but not it was a extremely tiny gully style kitchen. Like the kitchen was like this much was like the walkway, and it was very narrow.
And we all slept in the same room.
We all slept in the same room.
Kids.
That was not my decision, not my choice.
There was no engagements going on,
Yeah, so.
Kids, yeah.
Well, I voted that the kids had their own room. We have our own room, but nobody wants to do it my way.
But I didn't want the kids in the living room because it's like if the kids was in the living room and the place is already like 500 square feet, the bed would be in the living room. Toys is everywhere.
You didn't want
there
to
wouldn't
be
be
like
no
living
outlet.
in 2 bedrooms. You just wanted 1 bedroom and
like this is where, right?
And I honored that. We were, I respected that. The kids also did not want to sleep in the living room because there is a huge sliding glass door, and it made our oldest child feel uneasy because there's also a walkway right past. Like there's a little bit of yard space, but like there was a sidewalk right there, and just because they're going to sleep doesn't mean that the neighbors stop walking past. And it's really close to like the entry to the apartment building. So for everyone's comfort, well, I guess we could say almost everyone's comfort. They shared the bedroom with us, and so we made that work. We'll talk, we can go into more detail about that on a different video about how we did that. But coming out of that experience, we realized, so we did purchase some land, and we had the plan of parking the bus on that land and living in the bus while we built our forever home. And I think that was always kind of the plan, to live in the bus. The plan. Yep. And at some point we wanted to travel and do a big trip, but for the most part it was just live in the bus for a couple of years while we save and
build a dream.
So that did not happen. We tried several times to get a few different people to come out there and clear the land for us. And we got quotes for like $10,000, which I don't know if that's a reasonable quote for, like, we needed him to add like a driveway and a parking pad, and it's going to take a bit of work. There's a lot of trees, and they had to like clear the trees out and level the ground and get the drainage right and all that. So we weren't like upset with that quote. We were just being realistic with ourselves and saying we can't do that right now. And then there's some other people who are like basically professional excavators that were, was he retired or something, but they had done it for years, and he was actually working on his own property, which is how we found him, because we were driving past and like, hey. Yeah. And so basically he was willing to do it for, a couple beers and a smile, but just couldn't get our stuff to sync with him. And so after several months of trying to figure that out and trying to see if we can get somebody else to come out, and this land is not close to the city at all. So no, it's like at least 30 minutes outside of just city boundaries.
We'll do a video on and show you guys what everything looked like, but it's like a bunch of trees.
Yeah, it's pretty just forested.
Like just forest.
And it's on a slope.
So
it's like a pretty steep slope. Yeah. So all these challenges meant that we probably weren't going to be able to do that right this minute. So what that meant was we got to find a different option. Yeah. Like, it just wasn't coming together. Yeah. And my sister is a real estate agent, so we call her and say, hey Jasmine, can you help us find a place to like rent? Like, we're just trying to rent a place to just get out of here like as soon as possible, because this place is getting on my nerves. Yeah. And she was like, I could do that, but I would rather help set you up for your future, and that same money you're going to be spending on renting, I'd rather you buy a house, which is something that we wanted to do, but we were fearful about doing, because we've tried it for several years now. We've tried off and on almost our entire marriage to buy a house, and for one reason or another, like, it just has never come together. Like, never. Yeah. It's just never come together.
We get so close, and then they'll just stop, or it'll just fall through or whatnot.
We've had funding pulled from us like last minute, like the whole shebang. So we're apprehensive, but it worked out this time.
Plus the idea that she mentioned was just like investing into a house and then using that as an asset, and that way we'll have two assets. We got the land and then we got the house. So
we bought a house. We like this house. We like this house a lot. This house is a lot smaller than what we thought we were going to originally get as far as land. And I mean, even the house itself is a little bit smaller than I think what we were initially thinking and looking for a house. But this house is like, it suits us. It suits us very well.
That's perfect.
But we're only on like a fifth of an acre. And we originally thought we were going to be like, well, our property is 1 acre. And we kind of thought that was like the lowest we were going to go, because Mama had dreams for some goats and some chickens and some ducks and a whole homestead. Seems like not so much.
I don't mind a homestead. Sometimes I just like making faces because I like seeing her reaction.
Because he's theatrical.
But I don't mind the animals and stuff. But you know, like she does a lot of work to where it's just a lot. It's just a lot. It's a lot. So
but he likes to reap the
and,
benefits.
Yeah, I like to reap the benefits of it.
Yeah.
So
I guess the question would be, is that going to stop us?
For what?
From our dreams. We were on 1/5 of an acre, but I have homestead dreams.
I think we still want to do we still go to a homestead. You're building one right now in the backyard.
I know, I'm building up suspense and you're like...
I'm sorry. I was I wasn't supposed to say that. My fault.
Anyway.
My fault.
The answer is no, it's not going to stop us. So, we have plans for a homestead, and we're going to bring you guys along with us on that journey of how we're going to build a homestead in the suburbs. So we are in a very cute and quiet neighborhood. I think that kind of makes us a little bit unique in the sense that like we're accepting where we're at, and we're going to say, all right, we're going to use what we have, and we're still not going to deprive ourselves of any of life's luxury. So we want to be able to raise our own food and do all those things, but still enjoy our backyard, still have cookouts and barbecue.
Yes.
So we're not going to be the gardeners who turn their front yard into a garden.
No.
That's not going to be us. I might put a couple fruit trees out front just because we like fruit. But I don't want to disturb the neighbors. I don't want to have people picking my food. That's always been like a concern for the front yard garden thing. We will put edibles instead of just ornamental flowers and stuff in the front. They'll all be edible, but they'll also be beautiful. And yeah, we'll show you how we plan to do that as we go along.